Break away from this. Why? Because of that breaking news. Out of the state of Florida, the defense has rested its case in chief in the penalty phase, representing Nikolas Cruz. This was a bit of a shock to, sounds like, everybody in that courtroom. Let's pick it up to the point just before the defense declared that they are resting their case in chief, and watch the reaction of Judge Shore.
Okay, who's questioning this witness? Hello?
Which witness?
Your next witness.
These don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, we're just entering them.
These are just records. We're just doing it now.
So is it a secret who's going to be questioning your next witness? Because I'm going to find out in like 3 minutes.
No.
Who is doing it?
If the records don't relate, but if we call the witness, it will be me. I'm assuming you're talking about the other person.
Who is your next witness, and when are they being called, and which attorney is going to question them? Let me be clear, if I wasn't before. Because if these don't have anything to do with your next witness, then why are we having the jury wait outside right now?
Just because we were trying to move everything in, because in terms of timing, we do it now.
In terms of timing, it would be much better to do it during the lunch break when the jury needs longer than you all. So we'll go ahead and pass on this. Let's bring the jury in, please.
Your Honor?
Yes?
At this time, the defense rests, other than putting in our records.
We're not playing chess. I mean, will you please take the jury back in? Thank you. All right, go ahead and put in your records.
2B, Nikolas Cruz Henderson, episode 1 record.
Let me just stop. State, are you going to have anything ready for today?
No.
We're
expecting,
told us there was 80 witnesses.
we're waiting for 40 more witnesses.
I just want to say this is the most uncalled for, unprofessional way to try a case. You all knew about this, and even if you didn't make your decision till this morning, to have 22 people plus all of this staff and every attorney march into court, be waiting as if it's some kind of game. Now I have to send them home. The state's not ready. They're not going to have a witness ready. We have another day wasted. I honestly, I have never experienced a level of unprofessionalism in my career. It's unbelievable.
So, Judge, if we had any pretrial matters, you asked us to be here at 9:15. We were here at 9:15 to discuss pretrial matters. I have been practicing in this county for 22 years.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
Well,
it.
Judge, you're insulting me on the record in front of my client, and I believe that I should be able to defend
Okay, you
myself.
can do that later. You can make your record later, but you've been insulting me the entire trial. So, blatantly, taking your headphones off, arguing with me, storming out, coming late intentionally if you don't like my rulings. So, quite frankly, this has been long overdue. So please be seated. You can receive the evidence. I will receive the evidence. And then you can put whatever you want on the record at the end. Go ahead.
2B, which is Nikolas Cruz Henderson records, episode 1.
I'm sorry?
Episode 1, Henderson records for Nikolas Cruz.
2V.
I'm sorry, 2B is the victor.
Is there any objection to 2V as in Victor?
Sorry, what was that again, please?
To the,
I can't read.
Oh, Henderson Behavioral Health, episode 1.
That's fine.
Without objection, 2V will be received as 93.
2W, Henderson records, episode 2.
Is there any objection to 2W?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, there's the bombshell this morning, taking everybody by surprise, including Judge Shore and the state of Florida. The defense resting its case in chief in the penalty phase on behalf of Nikolas Cruz. Bernarda Villalona, Molly Palmer with us. Reactions? Bernarda, you first.
Ted, that was so sloppy. That was so sloppy. I have to say, I agree with the judge. The thing is, for the defense to have known that they were going to rest today when we expected this trial to be much longer, to last at least another 1 or 2 weeks, I think it's disrespectful to the jury, it's disrespectful to the judge, it's disrespectful to the prosecution. You are wasting everyone's time. When it comes to a jury trial, we have to be conscious of the time of the jury, because remember, we're taking them away from their families and from their jobs. So the defense should have let the judge know last night, hey, it's possible that we may rest today, so that way the case can still continue and we're not wasting people's time.
Molly, your thoughts. This was a real window into the relationships that have been built over the last few months.
Right, exactly. Of course, you always, as a trial lawyer, want to be mindful of the time of your jurors. And I think if Judge Scherer had focused her diatribe a bit more on that, and perhaps, of course, the courtesy to the state in letting them know they should be prepared, that's one thing. But what struck me as different in the speech that she gave from the bench was how she told the defense that they were being disrespectful to her, to the judge, by virtue of removing their headphones and doing a series of things that I personally don't see as disrespectful. And second of all, I think as a judge, it's very important to remain neutral and detached. And we know that Judge Scherer is a colleague of the lead prosecutor. She was his protege. And I think in a case like this, it's very important to maintain that semblance of neutrality. And in that moment, I don't think she did.
Bernard, what about just Judge Scherer's part of the equation here? Do you agree with Molly, or do you think that she had every right to go after the defense?
No, I agree with Molly to a certain extent. In terms of when she started making things personal, the judge, I think she should have saved that for later, to do that possibly at the bench, out of the presence of the audience. But I think that the judge was also showing her disgust as a respect to the people that are in the courtroom, the families are in the courtroom, to be like, look, I understand that you are also being inconvenienced by this, and I apologize on the behalf of the defense of what's going on right now. But either way, let's move on. Guess what? The defense rested, and guess who didn't testify? Nikolas Cruz. We want to save Nikolas Cruz's life, but yet he doesn't take the stand. So I wonder what was in the mind of the defense when they decided not to call Nikolas Cruz.
Yeah, good point. We're going to get a break in here, and when we come back, we're going to hear Judge Scherer talking to Nikolas Cruz about just that. Happened just a few minutes ago. We'll watch it together right after this.